everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Carrie, and I'm so happy that you decided to sit with me for a little bit. Today is August 23rd, 2024, Friday. It's a little drizzly and cooler today, which is lovely. Summer's feeling like it's kind of winding down. I know we're going to get back into having some warm weather, but this has felt really good. The last several days we've been a little rainy and cloudy and cooler, and I love it. Got back from Flock Fiber Festival, which was held in Seattle, Washington on the 10th and 11th, 9th and 10th. On that weekend, whatever that was. I was fortunate enough to be able to join Fiber Hustle in their debut show event, and it was very successful. It was a great show. You've probably seen lots of recaps and things like that, and I encourage you to look for that to see more of what was going on. I didn't take really many pictures or videos at all, just because I was busy. But it was very fun. I was joined by several of my friends, which I want to say we're online friends, but we're just friends. We're like a little family, and we had a great time. So I want to share all that kind of stuff. I did make some purchases, and I am finishing up some things, starting some new projects, and all the stuff. So thank you for being here. I usually like to start with whatever is on my design wall. So this stuff right here, I was playing around with some layouts. Chip over at Fiber Hustle several months ago gave me a bunch of leftover quilt block pieces. He had made a couple quilts, and then this was leftover stuff, and I said, sure, I'll take it, I'll make something with it. And so that's what I'm doing. So I still have some more to press, because it was just like a bunch just thrown in a bag kind of a thing, and so I'm pressing it all out. But I've been wanting to see, like, how will I lay it out? He laid his out this way, and I don't know that there's necessarily a pattern to it, but what I've got are many pieces that are put together like this. And this is, I believe this is a K facet, kind of a woven, which is a looser weave. And so I'm trying to figure out how to put it. I think I like that, which was me just doing them like this, just so they're put together the same, right? And then I'm just turning one and alternating to alleviate any seams that have to be stuck together. And I think the randomization of that is going to look really good. So I was just trying some different things. I just love all the colors together. It really doesn't even matter which way I put it together, because it's going to look great. And then because it's this, the majority of it is this woven fabric. Some of it is a regular quilting cotton that he put in there. But my goal is, when it's done, I want to back it with double gauze and just have it be a really lightweight, warm weather kind of a quilt. So that's the goal. I still have more of those to press, but I was just sort of like, what am I looking at when we get that together? And then this quilt is a quilt that my friend Jenny Jo of Lamb Farm Designs has given to me to quilt for her. So I will quilt that on my long arm. I was pulling thread colors, trying to make a plan, stand back and look at it. What am I going to do? And I've got my plan, and I use a piece of plexiglass that I can put on the quilt and draw on the plexiglass and kind of get an idea of where my quilting is going to go and what that's going to look like. So I've got a plan, got my thread colors, and I will put that on probably tomorrow. I don't know. This weekend's turning out to be kind of busy. So that's the quilting stuff. I still have my Starry Night still sitting there. Haven't touched it in a long time, so I got to dig that out. And you know, I don't sew much. I've mentioned this before, because up here gets pretty warm in the summertime. So once September hits and it's starting to get that cooler weather, I just want to spend all day in here. So all of that's gonna start happening. This obviously I got to get done for her. I've got another one that I'm going to do. She gave me a couple of them. So this quilt is, so she designed a quilt called Enchanted Forest. It'll be out September 1st. And this, when you buy that pattern, you get this setting. These are some pieces that are in that other quilt in Enchanted Forest. She's got these components, put them together for a little wall hanging, and you get that for free. I'll link her shop. It's lambfarmdesigns.com, and you can see. But September 1st, this is all going to get put out there. So I got to get those done. So flock. Let's go into flock, because I got a lot to say about that. Oh, and I'm going to announce some winners. Last episode, I had a couple of pieces that I made, a couple of knitwear pieces that I made that I wanted to give away because I made them and never wore them and never will wear them because I've got a lot, and so I'm giving them away. So I'll mention those too. So Flock was held in the Seattle, downtown Seattle area in a beautiful building. It was really a nice show. I loved that the aisles were wide, so you didn't feel super cramped. The venue itself was really well lit. There was lots of places for people to be, lots of places for people to socialize. It was great. I didn't get a chance to really see everybody because I've been watching some of the recap videos, and I'm like, I didn't know they were there, or I didn't stop there. So for whatever reason, I skipped by it. We were really, really busy on Saturday. I didn't really have a chance to shop Saturday, but I did do some shopping on Sunday. I do really well when I shop by myself because I generally don't buy anything. I'll just walk by and go, that's pretty, and I can walk by. But when I shop with friends and I get all into their excitement, I buy stuff. So I did, and I'll share that with you. But we did great. This is a Fiber Hustle fan, which we were cracking. There's a pin holder that I got that's made out of felt to put the enamel pins on, so I'm going to have to hang that up somewhere. Those are available on fiberhustle.com. They still have some stock, so check them out. So we did the show, you know, exhausted the whole bit, and then we had several days to just kind of hang out. We took a trip to Lake Clayellum Lake. It's in Clayellum, which is east of Seattle. And that was really a lovely space. It was a really beautiful lake. It was a little hazy when we were there, but we drove down to the lake and stood in the water and all that. Went into a little town called Roslyn, which evidently is where they filmed a lot of Northern Exposure, which is a show that was on in the 90s, I believe. Cute little town. Had lunch, a really nice lunch at this place, and it was just fun wandering around and seeing all that stuff. So when I was planning this whole like flock excursion, I was really wanting to make some things for my friends that I was going to be seeing. And something came up in my Instagram, and it was a way, you know, those 3 prong or hooked tools that you can make an I-cord with? Well, it was showing a way you could do that with polymer clay. And I thought, well, I have a little bit of polymer clay, and I happen to have those hooks. So the hooks went in their video, which look like are these. And these are replacement hooks for my knitting machine. I replaced all my hooks on my standard bed knitting machine when I got it for like maintenance reasons, because the machines are old. These can get kind of gunky and maybe make it so that it doesn't knit properly. But this is the needle. So this part, this little bump, when the carriage goes over, that gets guided in, and then that directs the needle to knit. So what she showed is you just cut that off. And I thought, I have 200 of these because I replaced the needles, but I saved all the old ones because you never know when you might need it, which is why I have so much craft stuff, because you never know. And then it came in handy because I have these. So I was going to make the little hooky deal, and also thinking it could be a good, like, you know how you sometimes if you drop a stitch and you just need to pull it up with like a crochet hook. Well, this works really well because you've got the latch that'll close over your stitch. And so I thought, well, I can make that. Well, I ran out of time. I was just like, there was no way I was going to be able to pull it off. So I thought, I'm going to be there with a lot of very creative people. What if I just bring the stuff and they can make their own and they can have the fun of making their own? So that's what I did. I brought my little toaster oven that I have that's just for crafting stuff. I brought my little kit of polymer clay and a few tools that I had. It's good to roll out on either like a ceramic tile or glass. So I just went to the dollar store and bought some little frames, took the glass out of them so that everybody could have a place to roll out and play with their clay. And it was a big hit. And it was really, really fun to see the creativity happen when everybody was working on it. So it was something that was just like out on the table. If you felt like sitting down and working on something or you had some inspiration, you could sit down and do it. And for the next few days, that's what people did. Some really, really cute creations were made. Kevin of Needles at the Ready has got a real knack for it. Ray too. Ray made a really cute sheep. So they did more sculptural and I was working more with like canes and twisting and doing stuff like that. So I wanted to share with you some of the things I made. So I was playing with some canes, which are like it's kind of like a roll of the polymer that's been layered, and so you kind of have a design in it. And it was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. And I keep tweaking it. And finally just got it put together where I thought it looked pretty cool. And I made myself my own little latch tool. So I happen to have clear nail polish. So I did put clear nail polish on it to make it shiny. Kevin was talking last night that he did some more research on it and said over time the nail polish could deteriorate the polymer, but if that's the case, I'll make something else. But as what I had, I wasn't planning on putting anything on it, but you know, you do what you do. So now I have my own little latch tool. Then I thought, well, let me try and make the 3-pronged I-cord maker deal. And so I made this, which I think is super cute. I mean, it's wonky. Like, obviously, I am not a sculptor. I would totally need to practice some more before I had anything that looked like really good. But it worked. And so I thought, well, let me try and see if I can make an I-cord. And so what I did is what's called an E-wrap cast on, which is something you use for casting on the knitting machine. So I just did that and got it going, and I was able to make an I-cord. Now I ripped it out because I was using some yarn that was in a project, but I made it and it's super cute. So I just, I just put it together. So I also had done, because I thought, well, Chip's not a knitter, so if he wants to make something, he's not going to make a latch hook. So I got some seam rippers because he is a sewer, and broke the handle. So I pounded the plastic handle off, took the little rubber stopper dealy off so that he could make something. Now, of course, I couldn't find him anywhere when I was there because they were still here. But I did have one with me. So I did make one. I was going to send this to Chip, but I don't know if he's going to like the colors. So it's like anything you can kind of stick in the clay seemed to work. So that was a lot of fun. And then we were also making kind of like little charms, like for stitch markers. And I had brought this container of like jump rings and stuff. So, just playing around. So when I was doing this, I had this clay. And so it is a stitch marker. I had a texture sheet that put knit stitch texture on it. So I made a little flower thing. I had some cookie cutter type things. And then Kevin was playing around and made this. And I said, you know what? You've got 2 of them that are similar enough. I can wear these as earrings. So I need to get like the earring hooks. And I'll make these into earrings because I thought those were cute. So I just made lots of little pieces like that. I didn't get too elaborate because I figured I could always do it at home. But then I had also bought, because what my standard gauge knitting machine that I had all the extra needles for, it goes up to a fingering, maybe a sport size hook. And so I thought, well, if somebody was doing worsted or something, you need bigger. So I bought some bigger hooks, and I just got these on Amazon, and they're just replacement hooks for a knitting machine. And same thing, Jim cut off the bumpy deal. I wasn't strong enough to cut it, but he just used some good like wire cutter things and just snapped it off. He goes, oh yeah, it's really easy. I couldn't do it. So we just had a lot of fun having that available, and it was fun to just watch people create. It's inspiring. So I don't think I'm going to become a polymer clay artist, but I will dabble. Of course, now I feel like I have to have a pasta machine, because that would make conditioning the clay and working with gradients and all those kinds of things way more doable. But then I'm like, how often am I really going to work on this? Do I really need to spend the money on that? So I'm holding off, because I just had this big weekend in Seattle that I got to recuperate from. So one of the things we decided to do, I believe it was Erin's idea, is what if we just did like a sunglasses exchange, like crazy sunglasses. And so we were randomly assigned each other in secret. And I made Ray some sunglasses that were inspired by their parakeet Skylar. And it is very much an Elton John vibe to it, but it was a lot of fun to work on. I got all the stuff from the dollar store, all the things, including the little case and everything, cost me like $7. So I didn't put a lot of money into it. It was all just more about my creativity and what I could do. And then Chip had me, and so let me show you what those look like. Okay, what do you think? I can do all kinds of different things with these. And so this was my crazy glasses that I got from Chip, which, where'd the button go? Oh, there it is. It just changes all different colors. So that was really fun to see what other people came up with. And it was a fun idea to be able to just do something wacky. So when we were at the lake, we took some photos of us with our funny sunglasses on. So that was really a fun thing to do, kind of something different, and still gave us the opportunity to do something for each other without it being over the top. So, and then what I am wearing my Jethro cardigan. This is a cardigan that I made to wear to flock, which I did not because I was just too warm. It is a cotton bamboo yarn, which isn't real hot, but it just wasn't right. It just wasn't going to happen for me. I did see several on Saturday. Kevin and Ray wore theirs, which I wish I had worn mine too, so I could have gotten a picture with them. But there were several people that I saw that came through the booth or even walked by that had them on, which was really fun. It was really fun to see the different versions, using yarn that was just maybe a gradient yarn, or goes through a long color change, so that they just use the one yarn, but each square turned out a little different. So I am wearing it today. I do feel like it's a little short, and all I did was this double crochet and a single crochet border, so I may add more of that so that I can make it a little bit longer, or maybe I'll do something crochet lacy, or I don't know. I haven't played with it. This is the first time I'm actually wearing it. So it turned out good. It fits well. I kept it short sleeves, which I will keep it that way. The only thing, like I said, is it just needs to be a little bit longer. But I was afraid to make it too long and then have the cotton bamboo kind of stretch, and make it not really the right size. So I did intentionally make it a little short, and I may just wait and wear it like this a little bit to see if I get that stretch on it. But it's done, and I've started another crochet project, which I will share with you in a little bit. Okay, let's do the giveaway winners. So I had shown that I was going to give away this shawl that I made. Let's see, is it right side and the wrong side? It's garter, so not really. This is yarn that was dyed by me years ago. I made this shawl, which I can't remember the name of it. And I, made it, blocked it, and then put it away and never wore it. And when I was organizing some of my knitwear, I decided, you know what, I haven't worn this yet. I'm probably not going to, so let's let somebody else enjoy it. So in the comments, I had asked you to leave a comment indicating shawl if you were wanting it. And so I did the random YouTube comment picker this morning. And the shawl goes to lisab.3116. And congratulations, Lisa. If you would like to get in contact with me at thecreativeobsession@gmail.com and give me your address, and I will mail this out to you. Hopefully you are within the United States. And I hope you really enjoy it. And thank you so much for your kind comment and even showing an interest in wanting it. The other one that I had was this cowl, this striped cowl, and the comment was to be stripes. This wasn't a pattern that I followed, and you can see this was before I really learned how to do the no jog, whatever stripe deal. But, you get the gist. When you wear it, I don't think you're going to see it. This is all yarn from Knit Picks. It's their Capretta, which is an MCN base. And your keyword was stripes. And the picker picked Tanya Brock 7677. So Tanya, congratulations. Thank you so much for your kind words about this. And if you will also email me at thecreativeobsession@gmail.com, give me your address, and I will get it out to you, next week. Since today's Friday, it's not going to go out today, but I will get it out to you. And thank you to everyone that made a comment and showed an interest in it. I do really appreciate it. I probably will have more at another time when I start doing some more cleaning. So my knitting stuff, okay, so I brought, it was really good. When I went to Flock, I brought one project and I hardly worked on it. So I was really glad that I did just bring the one project. It was just, I just didn't sit and knit for very long. I'd sit and knit, and then I'd go talk to somebody, and then somebody else would come in, and then we'd do some polymer clay, and let's go to the lake, and, all these kinds of things. And so I didn't get a whole lot of knitting done, but I did work on my taper shawl. And so I just got a little bit, I'm partway through a row, which is stupid, but I think we were talking and then let's go do something or whatever. So this variegated color is Fiber Hustle in the colorway Journey, which was based off of their the Journey album. This is their little Progress Keeper stitch marker that I love. And then this is a color that I dyed. It was a burnt orange color. I added magenta to it to make this orangey red color. And yeah, you gotta knit till you get to the end of here. And so I don't have very much more to go. Oh, look, I have one of my stitch markers I'm using. Works perfectly. So I'm kind of excited to make my own stitch markers, honestly, because I don't like super dingly ones. I don't like anything that's heavy, and polymer clay is so light that it works really well. So that is the taper shawl by whoever it is. I'll put it up there because I can't remember. And fingering weight, so that's nice to work on. Now that we're getting towards the end of August and like fall and winter is right around the corner, we do have camping plans. Hopefully it works out. We want to go on this 2-week trip that Jim's kind of got planned of camping along the way in southeast Oregon, like the southeast corner. There's some canyons and rivers and stuff we've never seen, and we want to go over and do that. It's going to be subject to whether his employee has jury duty or not. So he's supposed to have jury duty, or he goes in to see if he gets picked. And if he does get picked, we can't go because he'll be gone on jury duty. And if he doesn't get picked, then we'll go. So I'm thinking, you need your sweater in case we go, and you need your sweater because we're going to go into winter. And so I got to get working on your sweater. So that's what I'm doing. So I am making it out of Stitch Please, which is by Premier Yarns. It is 100% wool. It doesn't say what kind of wool. It's just wool. This is Deep Blue Sea. And worsted weight... Where's the deets? 220 yards for 100 grams. So that's what I'm making it out of. I am making the Santiaguino sweater that was gifted to me by Valerie, who I did get to meet in person at Flock. And right now I've just got to do, I'm just doing like from the armpits down, and I've only made sweaters for myself, and I'm not very tall. So, and Jim's only 6 feet tall, but that's considerably taller than me. So I feel like I'm knitting forever. But I've got it done to, got a few more inches to go. So nothing really to show. I'm just kind of towards the bottom. So a few more inches, then I will pick up for sleeves, do sleeves, and then do the neckline, which is V-neck, and I've never done a V-neck. So far, the patterns, like doing all this part, was easy to follow. I just followed the pattern and it did what it was supposed to do. So I told him, I said, I got to get your sweater done. He goes, oh, probably not going to need it. Like, you're going to wear the damn sweater. Even if I have to put it on you myself. So I'm trying to get that done. And then... like last night was my Thursday night knit night, and I thought I'm going to sit here and start working on the Fanny Granny poncho, which I showed quite a while ago because I bought the yarn for his sweater and the yarn for the poncho at the same time. So this is out of the same Stitch Please. So it's a bunch of granny squares up the front, and then it's granny stripes for the rest of it to make this poncho. So I just sat and made some granny squares because now I'm a pro at making granny squares. This is my palette, and this is going to be, what is this going to be? This was like what puts it together, I think. I don't even remember now. It was so long ago. But these are the colors I have to choose from for the granny stripe. Probably won't do this one. That one feels a little bleh, but the rest of them are in contention. So started doing that. I've got to learn to make half granny squares, or like a triangle granny square. Is it called a half granny square? I'm following the pattern. She has some video support with the pattern, so that helps me because I'm not a great crocheter. I can't say I'm not a crocheter anymore as I'm sitting here wearing my sweater, but I'm not a great crocheter. So I'm actually anxious to continue working on this because I know that I will get use out of this. It will be warm, but not too warm, hopefully, because it is a poncho. It's granny square, so it's airy, and I think I should be able to be okay. So that's all the stuff I've been currently working on, and I now want to go into what I picked up when I was at Flock. So, if you're not into it, I understand. Thanks for being here. If you do want to kind of see what I did, what damage I did, here we go. So the first thing I did, which was a mistake, no, it wasn't a mistake, is to follow Kevin and Ray. So we went to the Birdie Parker booth, and I got myself a new ring that looks like knit stitches. So I haven't worn my real wedding ring in a while because it needs to be repaired. It's worn down to where the diamonds are falling out. So I just have to go get it repaired, but it costs considerable money. And so I don't want to do it. So I bought a new ring instead. So I love that. And I got it in a size that'll also fit my other hand for when I get my wedding ring fixed, which I should do, but there's so many other things to spend my money on than to just do that. But it's okay. So one of the things that I wanted to try, Michael from Michael is awesome. Let me take a moment to appreciate the Michael experience. He's one of the nicest, coolest people I know. And he and I really like his style. I like the things he makes. He's very inspiring to me. So I went a little shopping with him and went to places that he has shopped at before and has really liked. And one of them is Geektastic. So they were there at Flock, and I bought some self-striping sock yarn. This is called Bulma, which I don't know what that means. It's a lot of like gaming references and stuff. This is their Sidekick sock, which is 75% Coriadale and 25% nylon, 100 grams, 434 yards. They had some really neat samples of things that were made that weren't socks, that were made with the self-striping yarn. So I might even explore that a little bit. So I'm not sure. I didn't have any plan. I just liked the color combination. So I got it. My goal was supposed to just be like, I'm not buying yarn. I'm just going to buy fiber. So I didn't do too bad with the yarn because I got the self-striping, and then Miss Babs had a booth there, and I've never experienced Miss Babs before. She had her Seattle colorway, which was called Laser Light Show. And so it was just too pretty to pass up. And this is Tarte. They're Tarte base, I guess. 75% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and 10% tencel. And it's 500 yards for the 100 grams. 122 grams. So it's a little bit oversized. This would make a beautiful shawl because you have kind of that extra yardage to do like a one skein shawl, but make it a decent size, not just a shawlette. And it feels very soft. So the tencel can kind of give it a good sheen too. So I'm excited to knit with that. And then something I would have probably never even stopped to look at, but our friend Lucy was like, hey, you got to go check this out. And it is this kind of yarn. So this is from a Manchega sheep, which is used for making cheese. And they usually shear them and discard the fleece. But this person, this place, whatever, gets the fleece and actually makes it into yarn. So it is an unspun, well, loosely spun, unspun, I'm not really sure. But it's 2 strands of this unspun yarn. Super lightweight. It does pull apart pretty easy, but I think once I knit it, it should be okay. So I got that, and I got this. And so she had there, knit up in this stuff, Miles shirt jacket by Ozetta Knitwear. She had that there, and it's this big oversized sweater jacket kind of thing, and it was very light, and I thought I could actually pull something like that off. So I bought all that they had in this color. So I got 3 of these, and then I needed a 4th, so I bought the gray, thinking I could do the gray as like the ribbing, maybe add stripes in it or something. I'm not sure, but then I have enough. And this stuff's very light. You get 251 yards, and I think it's considered a DK when you hold the 2 strands together. So anyway, I am going to make that pattern, and I am going to use that wool. It's yarn, fleecy yarn. I don't know. I did get some fleece. So Michael helped me pick out some fleece. He's recently, or not too long ago, done something where he's combined different fibers and different colors together when he plies. And so I said, I really want to try and do that. So I got out of the Alexandra Art of Yarn, out of her booth, I got this one, which is Merino Yak Silk. Now I'm getting fiber everywhere. Merino Yak Silk, 60% merino, 20 yak, and 20 silk. This is a 4-ounce braid. And then I got this, which is called Navy, and it's a mixed BFL. So it's 75% white BFL and 25% black BFL. So I thought those two colors go really well. I may even have something else that I have in my stash of fiber that I could spin and put with this. I don't remember, Michael, exactly how we were going to do this. He said I could call him so he could help me. The way to split it up and stuff. So I'm finishing up a spin that I've currently got going on my wheel. And then when that's done, I might start tackling that. When I was standing there talking, we were close, like the event hadn't started yet or something, or I think it was Sunday. Sunday was definitely less busy. And somebody was talking to Kevin and Ray when we were standing there, and she's like, well, Kevin, you spin. Do you want some art yarn or art fiber or whatever? Come to my booth and I'll get some. So they took off, and I'm like, I like pink and purple, and Ray brought me back this art bat, and it is by Morkmade Fiber, and it is Merino, Firestar, and Angelina, which is like your sparkly stuff. There's Tussa Silk, Cultivated Silk Noil, and Recycled Sari Silk. I've never done anything like this. So this is all like new to me kind of spinning. So this is an art bat. And then when I open it, it's just layered. I don't know how to explain it. It's layered with these different layers of fiber. And so I guess what you do is like take a chunk so that you have all of the pieces, pull that off, and then spin that. I'm excited and anxious to try this, because this is going to just be crazy. It will make a chunkier kind of yarn that's just kind of all over the place. So that'll be fun. I don't know what I'll do with it. It'll depend on what it looks like when it's done. So it's just got kind of like the whole kitchen sink in there, really. So thank you, Ray, for sharing that with me. I appreciate it. And I also went to Wool & Co.'s booth, and they do wool wash hand balms. I think I've bought candles from them before online. So I bought a lanolin wool wash. This is tobacco bay leaf. It just smells so good. I have a diffuser that I like to, it just smells like clean and, but I have a diffuser that I have a tobacco vanilla essential oil that I put in it. It just smells so good. And then I got the hand balm, a lavender and lemon hand balm, which feels really nice. And so it's, almond oil and shea butter and all the good things that you can put on your hands, and it's just lovely. That I think is the whole recap. So I was gone for a little over a week, and I've recapped it in like a half an hour. So I would highly recommend, if you can get to the Seattle area, or if you live somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, to go to Flock next year. It is on pretty much the same weekend. It is in the same building. So it is like the second weekend of August. It is a really nice show. It was done, I felt like it was done very well, and I'm excited to go next year. So that's kind of my plan. It's easy for me to do that kind of a trip because it's just, I can drive there, which was why I was able to bring all the polymer clay and all that kind of stuff. I didn't have to fly. So, and I had a big car with me. I was like, fill her up. I didn't bring the whole craft room, but it's tempting sometimes. You just never know what you're going to want to do. So thank you so much for being here and sitting through this and watching and participating in giveaways. Keep tuned for other giveaways that I might have. And the 2 winners that I mentioned earlier, please contact me so that I can get your prizes out. And enjoy the last of your summer. I know the kids are going back to school real soon here at various parts of the year. Here in my town, they don't start till after Labor Day, but I know a lot of kids are going back to school in the Portland area even next week, maybe even this week. So, watch out for those kids when they're going to the bus. To me, that's kind of like New Year's for me. It's like a fresh every beginning of school, because that's when, like, as a kid, you got the new peachy folders, and you got new pencils, and everything was kind of new at that time. You sort of started, you got new clothes that you got to wear. So to me, that feels like New Year for me. So I'm excited for fall to come. I'm done with the hot summer, and yeah, that'll be good. Then I can start wearing the knitwear. I'm excited to get some more knitting done and more projects done, and quilting and polymer clay. Why not? So be well, love you all, and I will see you next time. Bye.